Hi people, TS here. Just doing my player ratings now for the players of our 4-2 victory over Vorskla. Of course, starting in goal with Leno. I'd overall give him a 7 out of 10. Although he didn't have much to do, he conceded 2 goals, which, as previously mentioned, I don't think he had a chance to really. I don't think he had a chance in either of those two. He looks really comfortable on the ball. He doesn't really look scared on the ball when getting closed down. Then again, that could be bearing in mind the opposition that he was playing. I like the fact that he doesn't just look for short passes. He hits it long over the top, which, can cause problems, and, we will need that at times, especially in the Premier League. His shot stopping still to be, looked at, but of course he's the keeper that we've signed for £20+ million, and for his debut competition game in front of the home fans, overall I thought it was quite good, and I'll give him a 7 out of 10. Going to Lichtsteiner, he definitely, I think, needs to come to the first team. He's got great leadership qualities, great leadership skills. Thought he had a good game. Of course, he had that slight blip for their first goal, slight lack of concentration. But, you can see what he's going to bring to this team, and, no matter if he's 34 years old, he's definitely going to bring experience and, certain leadership qualities, and he definitely proved himself quite well this evening, so I'll give him a 7 out of 10 also. On the other side, Monreal, he was the captain tonight. I thought he played really well. He did well, again, bombing up and down that left-hand side. Didn't really come under any problems. And he's another one, again, I'll say had a good game, and he'd get a 7 out of 10 from me. Going into the centre-half, Sokratis, I'll tell you what, he definitely is the competitive, physical leadership defender that, we've been crying out for some time. I thought he had a good game again, and, he looked really well alongside Holding, and Holding looked quite good alongside him also, to be fair. So bearing that in mind, I'm going to give Sokratis an 8. Onto Rob Holding, he looked quite good, especially as I just mentioned, he seemed to gel quite well with Sokratis, and, he didn't really make any mistakes. He got in there, got physical, is what you want from your centre-half. His defensive header, and, when needed, wasn't really sloppy. It was quite effective. And I think he had a good game as well, so, I'd give him a 7 out of 10. Going into the midfield, Elneny, I feel at times he tried to do a bit too much, but of course he's fighting for his place at the moment, which is good to see, players not being comfortable, players realising that, if you're not playing well, you won't play at all. So I can understand his reasons as to why he was playing like that. I don't really think he was sloppy or anything. I think he's really trying to be an engine, he's really trying to get all over the pitch. And I think playing alongside someone like Torreira, it kind of gives him a bit of freedom to go forward. And of course, someone like Torreira is a bit of an engine and likes to get everywhere. I think he was just trying to do the same thing, to be fair. I thought he had a good game also, so I'll give him a 7. Lucas Torreira, I'm actually going to give Torreira 8. You can just see what he brings to us. He's, I think, one of the only, defensive type midfielders that we have that actually likes pinging the ball over the top. He was unfortunate with the free kick, going into the side netting. And, he's just like a little pit bull warrior, to be honest with you. And I thought he had a good game, so for that, as mentioned, I'll give him an 8. Heading up the pitch, Danny Welbeck got on the score sheet. I thought it was a good head. I thought he had a good performance. One thing that's definitely good about him for the way that we want to play is that, he's definitely someone that, he would do the press. He would chase down loose balls. He's not one to give up on loose balls and stuff. And, I thought he had a very good performance today. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Mkhitaryan as well, I thought he was another one. I thought he was quite effective, quite creative. Definitely staking a claim to be back in, the first team, for the Premier League games. And he's another one again. I'll give an 8 out of 10. Alex Iwobi, I thought he was the most effective player on the pitch. Of course, he didn't play the full 90, but still, he was very effective. He's very direct, from showing both his technical and physicality in this game. And, if anyone really stayed to claim to play against Everton, I think he really did. And he was my personal man of the match. And I'd give Iwobi a 9 out of 10. Aubameyang, we kind of wanted him to play this game, to play through the middle, score a couple goals, boost his confidence. And, he definitely did that. He had a couple other opportunities where maybe he could have scored 3 or 4. But, it was good for him to play in the middle, get 2 goals. And we'll see what will happen come the Everton game, whether he'll play through the middle, whether he'll play off the left again. But I thought it was a very good performance from Aubameyang, and I'll give him a 9 out of 10 also. Onto the subs, Guendouzi, of course, coming for Torreira. He just kept things assured. I like the way that he runs with the ball. So at one point he got the ball, I think, just past the halfway line, and, it's like he just runs with it for fun. He got to the edge of the box, passed it on to Özil. Özil unable to get a shot off, in the end kind of went out of play. Well, I think Guendouzi, he's so direct, he loves going forward, and I think he had a good game when he came off the bench. Again, I'd give him a 7 out of 10. Mesut Ozil himself, when he came on, he seemed to have fun. He seemed to, bring a breath of fresh air to the team, and the way he was linking up play and stuff and trying to create stuff was really good. So bearing that in mind, I'd give him an 8. And the final sub was Emile Smith-Rowe, coming on for his competitive debut for the first team. Come on for Iwobi, who of course I previously said was my man of the match. He's a player that, looks quite fearless, was getting, wasn't backing out of any 50-50s. He linked up play quite well with Mesut Ozil also. And, it was very good to see. And I definitely think he's a bright future to the club. He's another player I expect to probably see again next week when we play Brentford in the Carabao Cup. He's a player I definitely expect will have, lots of interaction with the first team this season. Whether some of it will be in the Premier League, I'm not too sure, but I think definitely with, our current group stage of the Europa League and, Carabao Cup and FA Cup when it starts, I definitely feel that he would definitely have an interaction with the first team. And it was a good performance from him, and I'd give him a 7. That's the player ratings from me. You can let me know in the comment section down below your player rating to the players based on their performance. And, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'll catch you later.